These keywords are insane. They have large volume, and their search relevancy is pretty high. So they have a lot to do with your product, and a lot of people are looking them up. And as long as they're not too competitive, which you can find out, you use them, you can get your ACoS down for PPC. And guys, for PPC, you should only run manual campaigns with these. You should never run autos because you can put these keywords in manual with Bid Plus, and you'll be the highest ranking. Your product would be listed the highest out of all of them, and your ads will be the most aggressive. And it might cost you a little, but especially if you're in an exact campaign, your rank will improve the highest, and it'll be as low as possible, which is the best, which like slowly over slowly. And then you can start optimizing your PPC. You'll get the ACoS down, and you'll be profitable. But for now, when you initially launch your product, it's best to be super aggressive with your PPC, just so your product can get ranked the highest. And that's these methods I personally use in my Amazon to get them. I use two tools, Helium 10 and WordTree. And while WordTree, it gets me like a smaller amount of really relevant and high volume keywords, Helium 10 kind of gets me more. And not all of them might be necessarily as relevant or as accurate as WordTree. It still helps when you first when you're done with the initial WordTree keywords, because they don't give you that many compared to Helium 10. It's always good to find, like, you'll find a lot of surprisingly low ACoS, good PPC keywords that if you use over time, they'll definitely like work wonders. And like, for the sake of this report or this tutorial, we're going to use barbecue gloves as our product. So okay, so for example, we're going to pretend. Oh, first we have to make sure we're using Jungle Scout to make sure we're getting good competitors. So let's find when they're selling a lot. And then revenue's coming in. Guys, I have Jungle Scout Pro extension, which costs $200, but you don't really need it. I would say the opportunity score is not that important of a feature. If you're a big Amazon seller, then maybe, but it's not that accurate, and honestly, it shouldn't be the sole thing that determines whether you do a product or not. But it's the numbers on this are pretty accurate. So now that we see, this is probably, yeah, this is at $73,000, guys. This is the best-selling barbecue glove. And guys, by the way, you can even see here the rank opportunity score is at 3. Please do not do this product. It's way too competitive. You're not going to make money. It's like maybe if you got into it a couple years ago, you would have been done very well, but right now it's too competitive. So we're going to go to this page. We're going to grab their ASIN, which you can find right here, copy it, and then we're going to use Helium 10, the tool Cerebro, which is a reverse ASIN lookup. Helium 10 costs $97 a month. I bought it for only for months where I do actual product research. Otherwise, it's kind of like a waste, just $97 every month. I feel like when you're building a listing and you're first like compiling all the tools you need, like Helium 10 is very good, especially since they have like a lot of the tools you would need as an Amazon seller, like literally almost everything you could use. So the first $97 for like each month you do like a product launch is like pretty worth it. So we're going to use Cerebro, reverse ASIN tool. And for the months you don't pay $97, you get like, I think 2 to 3 per. So we do a reverse search. Okay, guys. And okay, so I'm going to show you a couple things. So this is the Cerebro IQ score. This shows how many people keywords between volume and competition. It's pretty good, but also don't use it like there's the sole thing to determine. It's just a formula. It's not that advanced, and there's definitely like other things you should look for. But mainly right now we're going to look at the exact phrase search volume, which is shows how many people are searching a product a month in Amazon. This is exactly all Amazon data. So we're going to look in when you pay for the month, you can filter it out. But for the free version, you're just going to have to look. So when you use this, you're going to get the upgrade version, and you're going to find those keywords that have exact search volume from 50,000 to I would say 3,500. That's like a pretty good number. So exact search phrase volume, 50,000 to 3,500, and then you're going to use all of these keywords you see for the glove. So let's say, so let's pretend this number was around 45,000, which is a pretty high, but you can still use it. A good number for keywords. It's going to be grill gloves for cooking. You would take that, you would put that. Okay, guys. So when you do your manual PPC campaigns, you should only have like 2 to 3 keywords if your budget, setting your automatic budget at like around $35 or $30. In some tutorials, people take like dozens of keywords and they set the budget as like 30, and that's going to take so long for each keyword to like actually like be used, and it's going to be like it's just not like the efficient way. It's going to waste you so much time. You can run simultaneously campaigns at once, so you should put like 2 to 3 keywords in, create a campaign, try to find the bid. I usually bid 10 cents higher than the range of like the suggested bid, like 10 cents over the maximum range, and then I turn on bid plus, so that way like you're really like aggressively taking the sales. And you know when your bid is high enough by if your product is appearing in the first page for that keyword. Then when you see your product start appearing on the first page for that keyword, start bringing your bid lower and lower until like, and then try to like, it's like a guessing game. Like you'll like bring it down and further and down until it disappears off the first page, and then you'll bring it up until it gets on the first page. You'll kind of just go like over and under and over and under until you get it, and then that'll be like the perfect number. And you can probably increase it by like a penny every week, just in case anyone tries to do anything, or like if it goes missing from the first page, just increase the bid, figure out where it is, and yeah, and that's how you run really successful for the PPC campaigns for manual. And then yeah, so you find these, filter through it. I'm not paying this month, so I can't exactly like sort it, but as soon as you get the membership, you can. Tool is WordTree.io. This tool is really effective. It doesn't get nearly as many keywords as the Helium 10 does, but I found like these are like the ones that I use the most and they're most effective. But it's definitely like you get a huge edge if you use both, whereas like people use like they only stick to one tool or the other tool. Like you guys have to do like what most people don't to get like the best results on Amazon, and especially going the extra mile, you'll get the most keywords. So okay, so for this time, I'm gonna pretend my listing isn't that successful. So it'd be, I'm gonna like go back a few pages. So just for display, because for WordTree they want you to select your own ASIN and then you're going to compare it with the best sellers of the others. So I'm going to go back a few pages. Yeah, like page 4 is fine. I'm going to take one that's not selling that well. So use Jungle Scout. Helium 10 also has a tool right here similar to this. I like to use it when I'm doing product research. It's always good to double check everything with different tools. So hold on, I'll say like, yeah, our product's not doing too good. Revenue is around $509 a month. That's like a silicone one. Yeah, these. Oh, $1,500 a month is not that high. That's definitely not a good selling product. Okay, so we're gonna grab their ASIN, take it. Then we're gonna step this. We're gonna go. Okay. Next. Okay, and these you can put up to 10 competitor ASINs, and while you can put up to 10, the way to do this most logically is to put like the best selling ones. Like if you have 10 really like high selling competitors, then go for it. But if you only have like 3, like 4 or 6, like just do as many as you have. Otherwise, it's going to be a waste. And guys, when you run these reports, make sure to double check the ASINs because it really sucks. Like, especially Helium 10 doesn't really matter because it's a 1-month membership. But for WordTree, it sucks because then you have to pay. It's $10 the initial report and then $20 each after. So you definitely don't want to pay $30 for 2 reports. So okay, so we're gonna go to page 1 over here, and then we're gonna just check Jungle Scout, see which ones are selling the most, and then we're gonna copy their keywords. Okay, yeah. So, oh yeah. So like I said, we're gonna grab this ASIN. We're gonna grab this ASIN. And as you guys see, this is really all of them that are like selling well. So in this case, I'm not really gonna add anymore because it would be kind of like counterproductive. And then okay, I'm not actually gonna pay for this report because it isn't my product. But you guys can go ahead and click next, and then you get set up to a screen like this, and then you just go ahead. Again, it's $10 the first time, but $20 the next time. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys one of my actual WordTree reports. Okay, so yeah, this is one of my WordTree reports. So you see in this one, my products I try to find, like, I put in the extra effort to find products that aren't as competitive, just because that way there's less competition, more money to you. So I do exact search volumes that are lowest or highest to lowest. Crop it. Okay, yeah. So I would take the ones from 50,000 to 3,600 or 3,500, somewhere around there. So I would take all of these from here down to, yeah, like right around here. I would stop here. And the reason for this is anything under that, I find I don't really get PPC sales, and it's like a waste of clicks. Or even if no one clicks on it, there will be no clicks or not that many clicks on it, and it's not really that effective. So yeah, I'm obviously my keywords are blurred out because I'm hiding my product, but yeah. So you just use these keywords, these ones that correlate to the search volume, and then for each campaign, I would suggest doing either 2 to 3, preferably 2 if you wanna. That'll be a little more aggressive per campaign. Make the budget anywhere from like 25 to 35. Do the big technique I talked about earlier, and yeah, if you do this correctly, you will see a lot of your ACoS go down, a lot of your clicks and sales going up, and also another thing, it's really important to have your listing optimized to get really high conversion rates, and that'll get you the most sales and maximize your profits. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, ask me in the comments and I'll answer them. Okay, guys, see you next time.